Hi guys, this is Caleb, and today's video I'm going to share with you something that I recently thought about it and discovered because recently I was sharing with my client who is buying a HDB. She's thinking of utilizing most of her CPF OA to purchase the house and take as minimal loan as possible. Is it a good move? Is it a right move? I was sharing with her. Maybe it might not be a good move, but of course at the end of the day it's up to her own decision. Let's break down the math for this client of mine. I've done the math already, so you can see yourself. So inside over here we have two scenarios. She had purchased the property price at 524k. The first scenario is whereby she takes up as little loan as possible of 270 and she used her maximum CPF of about 240,000, which means to say after purchasing she left with $29,000. Another scenario is whereby she takes a maximum loan and use the minimum CPF such that at the end of the purchase she's left with $152,000 altogether. At a monthly installment of about 1,003, if she takes a 25 years loan tenure and 3.15%, her monthly installment is about 1,003, which means to say that every 5 years, she'll pay 78,000 altogether already. Then after 5 years, you have the remaining outstanding loan of 231,000, which means to say throughout these 5 years, she will have paid bank loan of 39,000 altogether. So the thing is that because she have utilized 240,000, every 5 years, there is this thing called interest she will need to pay. So this is the amount that she will need to pay back 5 years later if she chooses to sell off her property, which is the CPF principal plus accrued interest. So which means to say that the accrued interest that she needs to pay is about 31,000. Is basically taking this 272 minus away 240,000. What's left in her CPF after purchasing? She's left 29,000. But of course, 5 years later, this 5 years later amount of 29,000 would grow to 33,000 because she left the money inside this OA. Let's just assume that she used cash to pay for her monthly installment. So what this means is that 5 years later, she would have gotten an interest of $3,860 in her CPF OA. So then the question I have, or what I was thinking the last few days is, if CPF allow you to earn this $3,860, but you need to pay your own accrued interest and also the bank loan interest, is it feasible or not? So that's why I've taken 3,860 minus away the 31,000 over here and also minus away the 39,000 over here. That leads me to 67,000 altogether. Whereas in the other scenario, like what I shared with you, if she were to take on a maximum loan situation, if you should take on a maximum loan situation and use the least CPF that's possible, cash-wise, she will need to come up more because monthly installment is definitely higher. Yeah. Then bank interest-wise, she will pay much more as well because the loan amount she's taking is much more. But the thing that makes the difference would be the CPF interest that she will need to pay back to herself. It's lesser, 15,000 altogether. But because her CPF left with 152,000 at the start after her purchase, after 5 years she would have accumulated a 20,000 OA interest already. So it's kind of beneficial because this sum of money of 152,000 is quite a big sum and it will earn you 20,000 interest. So again, the same thing, 20,000 minus away CPF interest that she has to pay herself, of course, and minus away the bank interest, net interest earned is negative 53,000. Of course, when you compare this, negative 53,000, it's lower than negative 67,000. That's when I was thinking, actually, if she don't use much of her CPF, it's a better choice at the end of the day. Why is that so? It's because the interest that she earned from the CPF OA, it's a lot more higher than what she has if she used a lot of her CPF over here. over here, as in the first situation where she used the maximum CPF that she has. So that's when when I look further down, if 10 to 15 years time, what's the difference? This is 127,000, whereas this is 192,000. So it kind of dawned to me that, you know, as she holds the property longer, the CPF, the thing that snowballs a lot more is actually the CPF interest that she has to pay, because this increased by 40,000, this one increased by another 40,000 and stuff like that. Whereas the interest that she needs to pay here, it's lower. From here to here, it's 30,000, about 32,000, but from here to here, it's only 26,000, probably 26,000, and further down 15 to 20 years, it's even lower. In conclusion, it seems to me that if she were to use a lot of her CPF, at the end of the day, the net interest that she earns will be a lot much more lesser compared to if she used the minimal CPF. But of course, at the other side of the coin, it's whereby the cash that she needs to come up to pay her monthly installment, it's a lot much more. So at the end of the day, no right, no wrong situation, because cash you need have to come up more over here if you take the least CPF portion. So I hope this helps. This is just something that I was thought about it and kept me awake for last one night and doing some Excel calculations, and I hope it's helpful for you. If you need the Excel sheet, let me know and I'll send it to you soon.